All right, y'all, we're back with another video. Why Fortnite's multiverse experiment failed. In case y'all don't know what the Fortnite multiverse is, and y'all like play Fortnite, it's pretty much like the Rocket Racing, Lego Fortnite. There's some other stuff in there too that I don't even know about. It's like the Walking Dead universe too. It's a bunch of crap. Squid Games is in there too, I think, for the multiverse thing. So yeah, that's pretty much what that is. But we're gonna say why it failed, and it did in fact fail. So we're gonna see what Lufa has to say. I'm gonna subscribe to him because we love people that make these videos who work very hard on them and allow me to react to them. So yeah. All right, y'all. I hope you all enjoy the video. So let's get into
Fortnite is
it.
a game that has reached heights that no other game has managed to. But at the same time,
Who's in the
it has
Galactus
also
event,
fumbled
guys? Put it in
numerous
the comments.
opportunities in a way that genuinely hurts my soul. Do you remember when Peter Griffin was added to the game? Everyone was confused as to why we had to get this muscular version of Peter instead of his original design. It was a great skin and all, but why couldn't we get the original Peter? Some people said that Peter had to be muscular because if he wasn't, he would have had too large of a hitbox. While Seth MacFarlane said that he heard Peter's actual body would have been too much for the budget. And I could have lived with either of those explanations. They would have been fair enough. If it wasn't for the fact that the giant chicken from the same show was added the same season with an arguably bigger hitbox than
The chicken. Who remembers the chicken, guys? That was
Peter
fun.
could have ever had. You see,
This season was peak for me because this was 7th grade, winter break, Winterfest. It's still peak, guys. Y'all
about Fortnite,
y'all don't understand how good this season was.
its development direction
is
that it is constantly
it wasn't the best,
sabotaged
but it was
by
good.
Poor judgment and out-of-touch decisions.
And
Have you
most
ever
of
seen
chapter
someone
4,
who's so rich that they don't even know what to do with their money? Like a billionaire who outbids everyone on a Mercedes-Benz 300 SLR Uhlenhaut, only to cover it in a Galaxy wrap. I have never seen a more clueless yet egotistical corporation like that of Epic Games, a company which I can honestly describe as arrogant, because the people who lead this company's decisions always believe they know what's best for their games, even when they are clearly fumbling the easiest of decisions. Alright guys, I know you love the OG season, so we're gonna bring it back. Woo! Except the map is gonna be like weird and not OG, huh? And it's gonna be like Warzone Rebirth this time. What? Why couldn't you just leave it unchanged? I don't know how to do that. This is a development team with leadership in charge that has never heard the phrase,
I remember the lava
"If it
mode.
ain't broke, don't fix it."
I like barely remember that. I like barely played it.
Now it's an over-engineered slog. Skins used to have rarities. Now they don't. No studio makes me as angry as Epic Games.
Yeah.
And I don't care if it's just me.
I don't get why they would get rid of skin rarities. That's just stupid.
Despise them until the globe burns. Scorched if. Boy, who? Now you might be thinking, this YouTuber is such a negative Nancy. Total negative Nancy. Why do you hate Epic Games so much? Yeah, why do you hate Epic Games so much? Because they take good opportunities and ruin them. Case in point, these three. Lego Fortnite, Rocket Racing, and Fortnite Festival. Released as the main events of Chapter 5, these were meant to be staples on par with Battle Royale, and upon release, they each had a good amount of traction. But in a very small amount of time, they lost the majority of their players, with one of the most dramatic fall-offs being Lego Fortnite. The fascinating thing about these games is that they were actually planned years in advance. You see, back in 2017, when Fortnite was popping off, it did in fact get to Epic's head, and this is the proof. All the way back then, a sketch was made about the future of Fortnite, and how the people behind it thought it should become a hub for gaming. A place where you could enjoy music, PvP, survival, and more.
No, bro. Because, okay, I don't know why they would try that.
Up your own quad crasher, you gotta be to want to turn your Battle Royale into a multi-genre gaming hub. Can you imagine if at the height of PUBG or Apex Legends popularity, they said,
at least if they're gonna do that, and like I'm dissing on Fortnite and Epic Games, fix the goddamn game UI because I have no idea what I'm doing. Because I scroll down and I just see a bunch of creative maps and like it's just brain rot. I don't see any battle royale modes. It's just cooked. It's cooked. They need to fix it.
This is more than a battle royale. This is a medium. This is Epic Games' unique arrogance. To their credit, it is impressive that they thought of this idea this far in advance and actually ended up doing it. But that doesn't mean they did a good job.
No. Yeah, I haven't played Lego Fortnite in like 2 years. What the?
For something that was so long in the making, these games were released in a rushed state. Probably because Epic wanted Chapter 5 to be a big spectacle, so they rushed these games out to meet the release deadline. But as you'll see in this video, releasing these games in a rushed state was a huge mistake. because it permanently hindered their momentum, and the amazing game hub paradise that would have been suffered as a result. LEGO Fortnite is no doubt the most infamous example. For those of you who don't know, this was essentially a Fortnite survival game with LEGO DNA, and I mean actual DNA baked into the animals. At first, there was a lot of hype for this game because it seemed to be brimming with exciting new mechanics. This was not just a gimmicky LEGO muck. There were Breath of the Wild physics, Dark Souls combat, advanced villagers, and even temperature that changed with biomes. However, even though there were a lot of bells and whistles,
it's like Minecraft, you know,
the game
it's Lego Minecraft.
lacked depth and content to fill out those mechanics. And in less than a week, most players realized that there really wasn't that much to do. Sure, the world design was beautiful, but it also felt empty. The whole thing felt like a demo for Unreal Engine rather than a fleshed out game. And so the millions of players playing it soon turned into thousands. This, of course, is nothing new. Most games don't sustain their day one popularity for too long, but the drop-off here was particularly dramatic. This game went on from having a huge amount of discourse to most people dropping it and forgetting that it existed. The solution to this, of course, would be to update the game and give people new content to explore, and you'd think this wouldn't be an issue. I mean, this is coming from the studio behind Fortnite Battle Royale, a game that is constantly updated. But ironically, LEGO Fortnite's updates were incredibly lacking. The game came out around December 7th, 2023, and by April 22nd, 2024, this is what the game had received: launch pads, hunting daggers, fishing rods, and an animal pen.
They also added cars and a wrench.
Believe it or not, none of this was enough to compel most people to come back. Fast forward to last month, and all that's been added since April was a Star Wars event and fast travel. Why does this feel like an indie game? Personally, the lack of content wasn't actually a big problem for me. I'm someone who digests games much slower than the average person. It takes me a long time to use all the content in most games I play because I tend to take things slower. Even though the player count was lower every time I hopped on the game myself, that didn't deter me from playing LEGO Fortnite, and I was perfectly content playing the game as it was. Little did I know, this naivete would lead to one of the biggest heartbreaks I may ever experience. You see, after getting hooked on the game for a couple of days, I decided I was going to build a massive project. I was inspired, convinced that even though the game was abandoned by most players, that just meant there was more room for me to shine. I was going to become the Etho of LEGO Fortnite, and the Grian of LEGO Fortnite. And you know, while we're at it, and the Mumbo Jumbo, and the B-Dubs, Vintage Beef, Corral. The idea was to build a fortress that loosely resembled the city of Whiterun from Skyrim. I planned for my build to have a foundation that held up tons of decorated houses, all the while containing an underground system beneath the city. Buildings with multiple floors that I could find myself immersed in would surround me and cause me to forget about all my real-life problems. It would all be a part of what I built for the next few months to come. The ultimate sandbox experience. The best part was, because the LEGO villagers were so smart, they had the ability to do jobs, so I could actually—
Does that ever happen to anybody with Minecraft? Like, y'all just like get on a grind, like with like your friends or something, just like you just keep going. Like, you just hop it on like 12 hours a day kind of thing. And then when you're done, you just kind of like, we're done. Don't play for a while. That's happened to me a few times before.
NPCs roaming my city and doing real work that made the city feel alive. The whole thing felt like playing Minecraft for the first time again. I would collect the resources I needed, fight off enemies, and enjoy the process all the way through. It was shaping up to be one of the greatest gaming experiences I had ever had. And then something weird happened. While working on placing the upper floorboards of one of my houses, a banner appeared that said I was now building in a high complexity area. I didn't know what this meant, so I restarted the game. But to my horror, the message remained. Starting to fear the worst, I kept trying to install the floorboards, hoping it was only a fluke, but the message remained, hovering above my head like a cold diagnosis.
Bro, what?
To my horror, I realized I wouldn't be able to build my city anymore. I had somehow already found the limit to what LEGO Fortnite could handle. I had placed too many blocks in too much of a complex way, and now the game wouldn't let me build anymore. Suddenly the dream, the life, and the wife that I had imagined working towards had dissolved right before my eyes.
Yo.
I was so deeply excited to build this project, but now there was nothing I could do. I tried to keep building, I tried to work around it, but the game wouldn't let me place any more of my bricks. I became like Dr. Freeze, with the City of Plastic run becoming my frozen bride. It's very feasible that at that moment a large deposit of dopamine was destroyed and replaced with a void of confusion. Why do you have to take everything that makes me happy? Peter wasn't enough! Jokes aside, this really did bum me out, and I never played LEGO Fortnite again. I simply had no reason to. Why would I play a building game where I couldn't trust that my builds would be able to be completed? For once, my only limit wasn't my imagination, but the game I was playing. So not only was LEGO Fortnite lacking in content, but even the fundamental ability to build was broken. 8 months later, the problem seems to be fixed, but I'm not convinced this game is a worthy recipient of my time. For all I know, the complexity limit could hit me again later down the line, since I was very early on my build project when it first appeared. 1 out of 10. Rocket Racing was the least popular game for a reason. Not only did it lack an interesting selection of maps, but its gameplay was super cut and dry. You can accelerate, boost, drift. Sure, it plays great, the wall riding is slick and the driving is smooth, but this has to be one of the most uncreative games on Fortnite's platform. This game has less complexity than Only Up.
Just copied Rocket League. Like I don't even get why they.
And at the moment, probably less players too. This game feels like
Only Up still like gets players. Like they get a couple thousand.
The equivalent of walking without the mental health.
Who remembers when Only Up was at like 100,000 players? That was insane. I remember that. Remember that summer.
Benefits. It felt like CS:GO surfing, but not as cool. It's a boring game, and that's coming from me, the guy who doesn't need a lot to be entertained. The only time I could bear to play this game was when I wanted to do something while listening to a podcast. And I don't think that's what the devs were going for. It's a bland game that barely has anything in it to make it complex.
Yeah.
The skill ceiling feels so low you have to trench crawl to get through it. It's the most rudimentary racing game I'll probably ever play, almost like it was created just to fulfill a corporate checkbox.
Hey guys, we own Rocket League now, and I don't want to end up like that guy from Smiling Friends, the chicken nugget guy, so let's put it to good use, alright? Let's make a racing game with this.
Alright, are we gonna make the game interesting?
What?
The only good thing I will say about Rocket Racing is that out of the 3 games, it felt the least glitchy. Speaking of glitchy, Fortnite Festival was the least polished game of the 3. This is basically Fortnite Guitar Hero. Sounds awesome in concept, but the problem was that it was released with an incredible...
Ooh, I scared y'all. I just want to give a quick little message. Don't forget to join the Discord. We are going to be starting a Fortnite V-Buck card giveaway soon. It might be a Steam gift card. Depends on what I feel like, how much of my money I'm spending. So, yeah, we'll determine that. It'll most likely be Fortnite, though. So, yeah, it'll probably be a Fortnite, like, whatever they do now, like money, virtual money, or whatever. So, yeah, we'll probably be doing that. So, guys, you need to join the Discord for that. Don't forget to do that. If you do not join the Discord, you cannot be a part of this giveaway because Discord's kind of the only way I can do it. So, please join the Discord, guys. If you're underage, under 13, can't join. I'm sorry. If I find out that you are, I'm going to have to ban you from the server because that's Discord TOS. I gotta ban you. Sorry. But either way, yeah. Hope y'all enjoyed the rest of this video. Don't forget to like and comment on the video. Subscribe to the channel. We are 3 away from 840 as of recording this, so please go sub to the channel, guys. I need it. 1 sub would help. I don't care if you have notifications on or not. Just sub, guys. That's all I need from y'all. Thank you so much, and hope y'all enjoy the rest of this video.
Small selection of songs. In fact, there was such a small selection that it actually caused people to fixate on the small amount of songs they could play. Since Bad Romance was one of the only songs on the roster, it actually had a mini revival. People listened to that song so many times that a whole nother generation became obsessed with it. Solely because sometimes your only choice would be between playing that or The Search by NF, which went on to be known as The Search for Better Music. The game mechanics here were similar to Rocket Racing in that they took no more than a couple sessions to master. Hit the notes, fiddle the triangle notes, and occasionally press the space bar.
Yeah.
If I'm correct, this is pretty close to the Guitar Hero formula. But the thing is, there's a very
I remember when I played it when it first came out. Yeah, it was glitched. I remember now.
big difference between
It was
Fortnite
glitched.
Festival and Guitar
I
Hero.
think back,
Guitar
yeah, it
Hero
was
songs can get
definitely glitched.
really difficult to play, and you can spend days trying to master their difficulty. That's where a lot of people get hooked on it. It's that mastery. But Fortnite Festival songs do not get on that same level of difficulty. I could play any song on expert mode in a few tries, and that's the highest difficulty. Additionally, the game is glitchy.
For being an expert song.
I disconnected or something happened. My whole notes have just stopped. Oh shoot, my notes are going again.
I don't know enough about how it performs today, but
Yeah.
weeks into playing it after it first came out, there were glitches regularly happening. About 1 in 5 games would suffer from an interruption. Sometimes that would be the camera lingering on the stage for a couple minutes too long, with the game not being able to start, and other times there would be a crash if you emoted at the wrong time. Some people even figured out how to break outside of the game's bounds. With all that being said, I would be
Bro,
lying
what?
if I said the game didn't have its moments. Seeing Omni-Man shred Everlong is hilarious, but once that loses its novelty, the game feels pretty hollow. If it was presented on a smaller
Yeah, I
scale,
didn't-
like
I
a
didn't like it when
limited
it came
time
out.
event, that would make sense.
Okay,
But this is a game.
I think Fortnite should just stick to Battle Royale. Like, I've been seeing videos where they should go back and have an OG, like, Season 1, Season 11. They should go back to Chapter 1 and have a Season 11 and just get rid of all this. And I'm, like, thinking that's not a bad idea, you know? Like, I think there's just too much going on in the game. And they need to start regulating their maps, dude. Because if there's people just, like, farming and if there's, like, scams in it, like XP scams and V-Bucks skin scams, they need to ban those maps. Because people are making, like, it's taking Epic's money, too. You know, it's taking their money, too. So I think it should ban all those maps that are doing, like, scams and stuff. You know?
that was propped
You
up
get rid of all the brain rot maps and just, yeah.
along the likes of Lego Fortnite and Battle Royale, and it just does not match their caliber. While the content of these games may have been lacking, the microtransactions certainly weren't. But the funny thing is, they were also a bust. No one's buying this stuff. Allow me to present to you some of the dumbest items that have become purchasable with these games. For Rocket Racing, you've got car builds, decals, wheels, trails, and boosts.
I bought 2 cars, I think. I bought 2 cars. Yeah. But I wanted them for in-game, like Battle Royale. I didn't really want it for Rocket Racing at all.
That you can stare into to help you fall asleep faster. If you want to play songs in Fortnite Festival without them being in the free rotation, it will cost you 500 V-Bucks for the right to play them. They do function as emotes, which you can use in Battle Royale, but they're stuck on a stem player system where you can only play one part of your song at a time. This means that unless you can find 3 other people who dished out the 500 V-Bucks for your favorite song, you'll have to perform a Buddy Holly a cappella, or just play the bass riff, which is like really weird. I don't know why you'd just do that, but a lot of the virtual junk that now pollutes the store also comes from Festival. Microphones, guitars, bass guitars,
Yeah,
and
bro.
instrument emotes. You know well that no one is buying any of this stuff in September 2024. But fear not. Sometimes Festival has a
Yeah.
battle pass. This is 1 page long, yet it costs 850 more V-Bucks than the regular battle pass. It's
What? It did? When
almost
was
twice
this
as
out?
expensive for 1 page.
Oh, this was out a year ago. This is forever ago.
Lego Fortnite had one of these too, which
Yeah.
reminds me, even though Lego Fortnite barely received any updates, there was one way to get more content, and it sucks. A bit after Lego Fortnite came out, these kits started appearing in the shop, and they are probably the saddest item that I will mention in this video. These are basically 3D instruction kits with what I believe are exclusive bricks. You pay to be able to build an exclusive structure in your world, like a Der Burger restaurant, just a couple evolutionary steps away from NFTs. Especially since people were able to build pretty similar stuff for free. For a virtual instruction kit, it's probably like 500 V-Bucks. Nope, 2,000 V-Bucks.
That's... How much money is that? How much is 2,800? No, how much is 1,000? 1,000's like $9. That's $18 right there. And like today's V-Bucks money or whatever.
Basically $20 for this ridiculous sell. You could buy a real Lego kit with that money. That's the sad dystopian part. Just buy a real kit. It's insultingly close to the piece to price ratio of a real Lego set for something that isn't real. We got people paying to build a virtual Lego set before GTA 6. I am going to give credit where credit is due and applaud Epic for where they weren't greedy. Because the cool thing about Lego mode, and another reason why it's such a shame it's not more supported, is that the skins and emotes you already own from Battle Royale can be used in Lego form at no additional cost. Which to some of you might seem like the bare minimum, but I'm honestly surprised this happened. However, because Lego Fortnite was more rushed than a Town Hall 11 with level 8 walls, many of the skins were still under construction on release. Dozens of them had to have placeholder skins that look like half-baked bootlegs, and countless emotes were also missing. This is obviously because the Lego dev team clearly didn't have enough time to adapt them all. Do you notice how many problems a rushed release creates?
Yeah.
All of these
Like how they couldn't even get to stay afloat, and it's
have
just
done
like, yeah,
excellent job of cluttering the game's UI,
yeah.
filling up the shop with stuff that no one's going to buy. Because the locker section has to contain all these miscellaneous cosmetics.
Oh, who's ever read these books? Is it Big Nate? Oh, I used to read these books all the time when I was a kid.
It's way less
Oh,
intuitive
these are
than
so
it used to be.
good.
And every time you look at a skin in the shop, there's a good chance you'll see a Lego version on the same skin stapled on to give it more value. And it just feels like a real and Bumblebee moment if you don't play Lego Fortnite anymore, because it crushed your dreams. I mean, think about it. The average player is only playing Battle Royale or community games and can't use these items. But now they're gonna have to see and sort through all of this junk on a regular basis. I feel bad for whoever works on Fortnite's shop, because having to include and manage all of these random items that have various values must be a headache. All for Rocket Racing to have Toontown level player counts. And the thing is, because they introduced all of these cosmetics that are tied to dying games, the baggage that Fortnite must now carry is going to be a continuous burden. Unless they want to hurt their reputation, they can't just stop supporting these games. But the player counts for the games are only going to continue to dwindle, because no matter what update you introduce to these games, the novelty is already gone and most players are never coming back. So Epic has to keep renewing licenses for old songs and purchasing new ones. They have to keep building metaverse real estate Lego sets no one's using, and they have to keep producing new guitars. It's just funny and sad how a giant like Epic Games is now stuck in this predicament because of their own poor judgment. So, what should they have done differently? Let these games bake for another year or two and introduce them one at a time. Instead of sending out unfinished games 3 at a time because you need to have a fireworks
I didn't mind the Metallica collab though. I like that.
show every
I like
time
Metallica
10
though.
seasons have ended. Take your time and don't rush something that's going to be a long-term investment. Nowadays, these games have improved and have been given more content. Not really Lego Fortnite, still kind of nothing going on there somehow. But because of how they were rushed at their launch, they permanently lost momentum that they're never going to get back. A wise man once said, "A delayed game is eventually good, but a rushed game is forever bad." Sure, these games have their audiences and
Like GTA, like they're delaying it a lot. It's actually kind of killing the hype, how much they're delaying it. But just think, when it comes out, that shit is gonna be booming, dude. GTA is gonna be booming when it comes out. Like, I understand y'all don't like, a lot of people don't care anymore, and I kind of do. Like, I've kind of like lost my hype a little bit. But just think, when it comes out, people are like, oh my gosh, GTA is actually coming out, and they're like set, and they'll be like, yeah, we're done making it now, and this is like the actual release date. They'll get it out eventually. Because they know if they release a like unfinished game, like a slightly unfinished game, like how Fortnite's doing sometimes, it'll kill the game. Like, the game won't be popular. If there's bugs, and there's glitches, and there's stuff in it that's like they haven't already tested, like, it's gonna kill the game.
not unplayable, but
So,
their potential.
and that's what
was
Fortnite needs to do.
wasted.
Honestly, they should have waited until Chapter 6 to drop all this stuff, and they should have just stuck with what they do. Like, I guarantee you, Rocket Racing and Lego Fortnite would have been so much better if they just given them another year. So, I mean,
Based on my
that's my thought.
criticism, you might take me for someone who just wants to see Fortnite fail, because I'm a Minecraft obsessed Redditor. But the reason why I get so critical about Fortnite is because I truly like the game, and when it does stuff right and goes in the right direction, it's always an awesome experience. I wanted these games to succeed. I poured time into Lego Fortnite because I saw the potential in it and wanted to work on it until it was unplayable for me. You know, Fortnite Festival? I actually purchased a total of 10 jam tracks to play with, which in total is an investment of 5,000 V-Bucks. You can tell I really wanted to have fun with these games. I wanted them to be good. But the ego behind this company just repeatedly ruins good potential.
Yeah,
if these
bro.
games had more time to be fleshed out, I guarantee they would have been at the same level of popularity that Battle Royale has and have been able to sustain it. But instead, they were unfortunately used as cheap gimmicks to hype up Chapter 5, and they are now destined to linger
I guarantee you GTA 6 will be one of the best games ever when it comes out. Because the way I think it will, my prediction is that it's going to be the best game that's ever came out, because they are taking so long to do it. Because they're developing it. They're actually, like, getting everything to point. Because they want to be able to, like, I think they want to have every building you can walk into. Like, every NPC is, like, interactable. You know, they're adding new stuff with, like, stealing cars and stuff. Like, they want to make it perfect. And I get what they're doing. It is also kind of killing the hype at the moment, but anytime they release something and we get close to the release date, people are like, "Oh, GTA 6 coming! It's coming out." Oh, nope, delayed for another year. Dang, and then it just kind of goes silent for a year. But then hype grows back, and then just kind of gets killed again if they say, "Oh, we need another like 3 months." But I think it'll be good when it comes out. Like GTA 6 will be good when it comes out, and I guarantee it.
The platform
I guarantee
as
it.
niche side projects. A complete failure based on the amount of resources this company has. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I'm Lufa.
Now, W video from Lufa though. It's a year old too. I didn't even realize that. No, W video.